I'll be sure to ask you a question. How many times have you heard a pastor say, God will provide, only to go home and find that your rent was still due? How many times have you fasted and prayed for a financial breakthrough, only for your bank account to stay the same? I am not mocking your faith. I am challenging the lies you have been taught about how faith actually works. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Many Nigerian Christians stay broke because they have been taught that spirituality and strategy are enemies, that if you plan too much you lack faith, that if you think about money you are carnal, that if you work on a Sunday you are backsliding. This is not biblical, this is religious manipulation, and it is keeping you poor. Let me show you what the Bible actually says. Proverbs 21:5 says, "The plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty." Did you catch that? Plans lead to profit, showing that faith and strategy work together for your success. Not just prayer, plans. Proverbs 6:6-8 tells us to look at the ant. The ant does not have a commander or ruler, yet it stores provisions in summer and gathers food at harvest. The ant plans, the ant prepares, the ant works with a strategy. Jesus himself told a parable in Luke 14:28 about a man who wanted to build a tower. What did Jesus say? Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? Jesus taught planning. Jesus taught counting the cost. Jesus taught strategy. But somehow we have been taught that planning means not trusting God. That is a lie from the pit of hell. God gave you a brain. He expects you to use it. God gave you the ability to think, to plan, to strategize. And when you refuse to use what He gave you, you are not being spiritual. You are being lazy. I know this is hard to hear. I know some of you are thinking, but Ahmed, I have faith. I believe God will come through. And I am not telling you to stop believing. I am telling you to add planning to your believing. Could you look at Joseph in Egypt? Did he pray when Pharaoh told him about the dream of 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine? No. He prayed for interpretation, then he planned. He created a storage system. He organized the collection of grain. He prepared Egypt for what was coming. Faith plus planning saved a nation. Look at Nehemiah. When God put it in his heart to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem, did he show up with a prayer? No. He asked the king for letters of safe passage. He requested timber for the gates. He surveyed the walls at night to assess the damage. He organized the people into teams. Faith plus planning rebuilt a city. This is the pattern throughout Scripture. God gives the vision. Man creates the plan. God provides the resources. Man executes the work. But we have been taught to skip the middle parts. We want God to give us the vision and then do everything else while we sit and pray. That is not faith. That is foolishness. And it is keeping Nigerian Christians broke, while people with less faith but more strategy are building wealth. Here is what you need to understand. Planning is not the opposite of faith. It is a demonstration of faith. When you plan, you are saying, I believe God will come through, so I am preparing for what He is going to do. This integration strengthens your trust in God's promises. The farmer who has faith that God will send rain still plants his seeds. The student who has faith that God will help him pass still studies for his exams. The entrepreneur who has faith that God will bless his business still creates a business plan. Faith without works is dead. James 2:17. And works without planning are just random activity that leads nowhere. So here is what the PPA framework does. It puts planning back where it belongs. Between prayer and action, you pray first. You seek God. You ask for wisdom. You ask for direction. You ask Him to show you what to focus on. Then you plan. You sit down with a pen and paper. You write down the steps, calculate the costs, and identify obstacles. I want you to know that creating a strategy rooted in Nigerian reality will give you confidence that your efforts are grounded and achievable. Then you act. You execute the plan with focus and discipline. You adjust when things do not go as expected. You keep moving forward, empowering yourself to turn faith into tangible results. This is biblical faith. This is how you honor God with both your spirituality and your intelligence. Stop waiting for a miracle to fall from heaven while you do nothing. Stop blaming the devil for your lack of planning. Stop using "I am trusting God" as an excuse for laziness. God is not going to do for you what He gave you the ability to do for yourself. He will open doors, but you have to walk through them. He will provide opportunities, but you have to prepare for them. He will bless your work, but you have to do the job. I have here for you what you do today. Take one area of your life where you have been trusting God but not planning. Maybe it is your finances. Perhaps it is your business. Maybe it is your career. Take one area of your life where you have been trusting God, but not planning your finances, business, or career. Pray about it, ask God for wisdom, then sit down and create a detailed plan. Write specific steps, set a timeline, identify resources, and take the first action step today. This is how Nigerian Christians stop staying broke, not by praying less, by planning more, not by having less faith, by adding strategy to your faith. Pray, plan, and act. We move.